And remember, Dan, intro
I always
to the
need one.
middle.
Intro to the middle, yep.
Yep.
Not this one, Gordon.
Yep.
Like I've done in the past many times.
All right, when you're ready, I'm ready.
Ready, big boy? Ready, sailor? Well, hello all, and welcome back to another edition of Dan and the Doctor. I don't know how many we're in now, Gordy, but geez, we've done a few. And
Bloody oath we have.
We have still got more audience participation coming in. We have emails coming in. We have a few things happening. You hear it on the doors.
That's exactly right. Right.
Before we get going too much, I think we've got to just let all the men and women in the world know that now you are completely off the market.
That's exactly right. Married people, all
Married.
here. All here.
So the men and women are crying around the world right now, but you know what? He's a good guy. He's been with his lovely wife now for 3 weeks. Oh, a bit longer now when this podcast airs. But he'd been with her for 14 years. So 14 years it took him to get married. So that's not long, is it?
That's exactly right. She's a very patient woman, and we got there in the end. Going strong 2 weeks in, so...
How do you go? Good. Can you open a beer with your wedding ring?
Well, you taught me the other night, so I'm still practicing.
Practicing, we'll keep it up because you never know when you need that.
We'll keep that a bit secret from the wife, I
That's
think.
exactly right. We shouldn't tell her that. She might get a bit
she'll
emotional.
get cranky and might get a bit scratched.
But anyway, now it's time to announce our special guest today. So today we have an amazing guest, and he came all the way from the area of Hawke, the electorate of Hawke. I actually grew up in Hawke, grew up in Melton, and we have the hairpiece, the man, the ex-State Secretary of Victoria. We have Sam Rae here. Welcome, Sam.
Thank you, I think.
Sam's a bit nervous to be here. If you can see him on our
I'm
end,
nervous
right,
and
there's a little bit.
I'm both.
I can see his
Nervous
heart
and
beating.
annoyed,
Look at
yeah.
that. He's beating through his shirt.
A little bit of pucker going on.
I'm annoyed because, as you point out, you've done a lot of these and you've never invited me before, and I've just been waiting every week. Like, this will be the week. They'll invite me this week.
Yeah, but you know why? You know why we didn't invite you? Because the pissing and moaning we went through to get you here this morning, because you missed soccer. We play sports here of a morning in Parliament. Tuesdays is basketball, Mondays is nothing, Wednesdays is soccer. And Sammy Boy loves his soccer and quite disappointed that he missed out on it. So make sure you give some feedback to him about that too.
There wasn't a lot of flexibility provided to me as the guest, of course.
And nor should there be, because we work around Gordon's schedule.
Right. Very good.
He's the hard man to get into. So, well, we've had enough run with this. Let's get into this. So, a couple of questions I have for you.
Okay,
Member
right.
for Hawke,
Quick fire,
my beautiful hometown.
Yep.
Fantastic place, Melton.
Yep.
What do you think
One
of
of
it?
our greatest Olympians you are, Dan.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
One of Melton's greatest Olympians.
See, now you know how to get into my heart, don't
Well,
you? Yes.
I'm preparing myself for whatever's yet to come. My bit of the world is a sensational bit of the world, as you know, Dan. And the privilege of getting to represent my community is the great, honour of my professional life. And I love where I live. I love the community. I love the environment. We've got our challenges, there's like every community does, but we're deeply fortunate people, and I'm very, very fortunate to be the person that gets chosen by the community to represent them. So it's a massive thing. I love being up here, but I particularly love being at home in the community and with my family.
That's good to hear. Good to hear, Sam. And so you were State Secretary for Victoria for the Labor Party.
Long time ago. What
made you get into this? What made you want to become an MP and for starters a State Secretary?
Good question. No design whatsoever. Pure stumbling idiocy, I think, is the kind of the honest answer. I'd done all sorts of bits and pieces. I've worked a billion different jobs since I left school. But fell into a bit of political stuff and ended up in the State Secretary's role a number of years ago because I wanted to make sure that Labor governments were good governments and that they won elections so they could serve working people. And I did that for a few years, and it was a great job. I enjoyed it. And I thought I'd sort of finished with politics. I'd moved on with my career. And then our seat, Hawke, was created actually at the last election. It was a brand new seat named after one of our greatest Prime Ministers of all time, Mr. Bob Hawke.
Can scull a beer, may I say. Everyone loves a yard glass.
Stay tuned for the next episode of Dan and the Doctor, when we will get amongst that.
And the opportunity, as I said, to represent the community was there, and I'm very grateful for all the people that supported me to take that opportunity up.
Yeah, good work. And just going back to when you said you finished school. So I left school at 15. I didn't finish school. I went and did a trade, right? But I've heard rumours that you didn't exactly finish your schooling. Is it true that you got expelled on the last day of school? just through some things that you and your brothers did at school. Is that right?
And we only heard this through the grapevine.
Just the grapevine, just a few little things we hear. Thank you, Zoe.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thanks.
Zoe. It was Zoe. Thank you, Zoe. Expelled is a big word. That's an aggressive word.
We can't spell it, so
I left school at 15. Expelled got me passed.
That's an aggressive word. Okay, well, look, my story is...
And we want to hear your side of the story because we've heard Zoe's.
Yeah, well...
So incredibly detailed as well.
Okay, so... Do I need a lawyer or something? So I grew up in the south side of Canberra, down in Tuggeranong, but I went to Narrabundah College, which is close to a place that's dear to our respective hearts, which is the German club. Serves a pork knuckle. I can recommend it to everybody.
Excellent German club too.
And I loved school. My mum was a teacher. Grew up with mum and a couple of brothers, so there are 3 boys in our family. Mum was a teacher, so I loved school. I loved the mates. I loved playing footy. I loved the teachers. Had great teachers. Didn't love the learning bit all the time. Yeah, that wasn't great at attending classes. But I had a good time, and I was very lucky to have amazing teachers. They did reach the end of their tether though when I was involved in an incident where I was on top of the roof and the fire hose got turned on the principal on the last day, and I'm not proud.
Well,
of it.
it's muck-up day. Muck-up day is what used to happen there, and that's what the principal would expect. You'd think.
You'd think.
Yeah, especially for a muck-up day.
You'd think.
Yeah.
Apparently not. And so look, there was mutual agreement that we would go our separate ways at that point.
And what your mum would have been proud.
She
being
was
a teacher.
Filthy. In fact, the last thing I remember about being on the roof was a 2-story roof above the canteen, and I remember everyone knew my mum. She'd been a teacher for 30 or 40 years. Everyone knew her. And I remember a particular teacher, Lynette is her name, hi Lynette. And I remember her yelling at me.
Part of the expulsion.
Yeah, and her going, Samuel Rae, and she had the phone out. She goes, I am calling your mother right now. So it was pretty bad.
That's quite impressive. I like that. I was no angel at school. I'm sure you would believe that on this podcast from what we've seen. But that's why I left to go to a trade. And tradies are cool. We need more tradies around Australia. So if you're interested in trades, get into them.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Absolutely.
What about you, Gord? Have you got a couple of questions? Because I got lots more questions here, but let's hear some from you.
So absorbed in that story. That was fascinating.
You know the bit that I like the most? Not so good at the education part.
Can't relate. So my question is, what is it like to be the best-looking MP? Because I believe that you were brought into this world
Josh Burns about that.
straight out of a male model magazine.
That's exactly
I don't know if we can pan down to look at these pants here, but Sam Rae continuously has ankle on show, which does things for me. I don't know about you, Dan. What do you reckon?
I'm not into ankles because mine are cankles, so they're not something I'm trying to work on.
Mate, they're beautiful.
Yes.
They are chiseled to fine little sticks down there. Jeez. And look at this button. Look at that.
I don't know about the button all the way up. Like, I'm a big fan of the shirt, the
That's
polo
real
shirt.
Victoria, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like Metropolitan
See if I
Melbourne.
can choke myself a bit more. Yeah.
I don't know.
Jeez, I don't know what you do in your spare time, Dan.
I don't know if I'm getting paid compliments or just absolutely having the piss taken out. Like, and it's kind of equally both at the same time.
It is.
I'm so appreciative, guys. Thank you.
No, that's okay. And you are one of the more handsome gentlemen here in the place.
Here we go.
And
Look at that hair.
exactly, and the hair had to come up.
The hair did have to come up.
And we know, right?
So tall.
A person walks into a place, right, and there's an awe about them.
That's right.
The awe isn't about Sam. The awe's about just Sam's hair.
That's right.
He walks in and his hair just goes in a couple of metres before him, and people just look and go, oh my God, look at that. That is a hair. That is a head suit, as Jerome Laxell would say.
That's right.
That is a head suit of profession.
There is.
Yeah, look, I know it looks stupid. And people tell it to me
Doesn't
like
look
it's
stupid.
like it's the first time. Like, do you know what your hair looks like? Oh, sorry.
No, you just we swear regularly on this podcast.
All right.
Gordon is a
Thank
gutter
God.
mouth.
All right. I can assure people I have seen it. Look, you can thank Dan at Boston Barbers down in Melton. Good
work, Dan. Keep it up because it
keeps
is
the feathers
beautiful.
pruned. He keeps the feathers pruned and he takes great pride in it.
And do you book that in? Is that booked into your diary, your haircuts, or is it just a sporadic thing? Because with a bonce like that, I reckon it's premeditated.
It should be booked in more.
Should be booked in more?
That's for sure.
Very nice, very nice. No, it is. Don't put yourself down either, right? Because that's what we're here for.
No, well, thank you.
You don't need to do that.
Good.
We can do that for
Good.
you. Yeah.
Good. That's excellent. Look, I'm not short of confidence, so that's okay. I think we can probably get through it.
Oh, well, I heard as well when you were growing up and in your uni days of just going between houses and things like that. You used to sleep in a sleeping bag on a mattress that still had the plastic on it from when you buy a new mattress.
Tell us of your fetishes, Sam.
I'm not into a plastic fetish myself, but if that's what you're into, I'm proud of you for coming out.
So you
and
can
letting us
wipe
know
it down
that.
easily or hose it down. Tell us more. Tell us more.
I bought that mattress. I paid for it with money that I worked for, and I wasn't going to let it get dirty on the floor. It's a simple story. I don't understand what the big deal is about this.
When you finished your time in the share houses, of what you would call it, I heard you sold us a brand new mattress too, though.
I made a profit out of it.
Mattress shortage and bang.
Absolutely. Someone's still sleeping on that plastic-clad mattress.
And I like the way that you slept in a sleeping bag. That was nice. It would have been lovely for you.
Look, I think there are things that we can reflect on about our functionality as young people and recognise that we hope our children do better than we do. We all aspire to more for the next generation. And as a 18, 19-year-old, I was probably more interested in sinking cans than I was in making my bed, and I found a solution to that problem.
A good solution too. Very good solution.
The problem is when you wake up in the sleep bag with your shoes still on. That's inadvisable.
Yeah, well, you're just ready to go.
Well,
you're prepared for the next day.
One way to look at it.
Yes. No, good work.
Does your mattress have plastic still on it? Or?
No, the plastic, my wife would lose it.
Yeah, so would mine actually.
Yeah, so would not see the funny side of that. No.
Although now that this story's come up, I think I'm going to go buy a mattress with plastic on it. See how that goes.
I know a second-hand one you can pick up.
Sammy Rae, if you've slept on it, I'll take it. Moving swiftly along.
Yes. So, and let's get back to polished, because we have a couple of other people that are polished in this parliament, and one of them is good old Richard.
Oh, Marzi.
Marzi.
Yeah,
so, and quite often, right, we're heard that you are the mini Richard.
Oh, come
The
on.
Richard in waiting is what we hear around the place, Sam.
You're kidding me.
So what are your responses to these people that are saying these great things about you?
The bloke, look, don't get me wrong, I love the bloke. He's a ripping fella. Great bloke. One of nature's finest gentlemen. But
Nature's finest
it's
gentleman.
fair to say that he and I connect as friends, but we are very, very different people.
And so you guys have a little
He definitely
running club
didn't get it.
together.
He didn't agree to leave school on the last day, put it that way.
And you guys run regularly with him. I don't, clearly, because look at the size of me, but we're working on that, people. I don't do the running with him, but what is the actual style of his running? Because I can't work it out.
Oh, it's pretty impressive, actually. Like, if I'm in the nick that Marzi's in at his age, whatever he is, 83 or something.
He's a fit 83-year-old, dude.
I'll be stoked.
He's got endurance, doesn't he?
You know what? I've known him a long time, and people regularly point this out. So there's probably some people out there that will agree. A lot of mums. He is ripening. There's a head nodding over there. He is ripening with age. He is ripening with age. So I don't know. There's hope for all of us, even you, Dan.
Yeah. This built for radio, but even radio's getting worse because it's all filmed now. It's all video. So, but anyway, well, that's good. Thank you to give us a lowdown on him, and we will get Richard on the show. He's got an amazing snow dome collection, which will come up. Yes. So.
Sorry. After that exchange, I got nothing for a moment. I got nothing. Jesus.
Well, I'll run into a few other things because I've got a bit coming down here. So.
Yep, go on.
So we've all got showers in our offices here.
Yes.
And we do a bit of sport in the morning, go to the gym, do whatever we do.
Yep.
And I hear you take like an hour in the shower every day. And I understand the hair takes a bit to do. I
Don't worry about the
understand
hair,
that.
mate. Don't worry about the hair.
What are you doing in there for that time?
I have 3 children, 3 small children. right? And this job is a great job. You two blokes know this.
Fantastic job.
We are lucky buggers. But one of the things that is difficult about this job is being away from your family, and that is a very, very difficult thing, and I find that personally very challenging. But the one upside is I get to go to the toilet and get in the shower without someone coming in to tell me that the Lego's stuck in their hair, or that there's a piece of corn on the window or whatever it is. So when I get in that shower, I put the music on. I've just got the Pantene out. I'm just flowing. I'm just flowing in it. The other thing about those showers is this building, incredible building, being built, finished and was opened in 1988. Before anyone conceived of water restrictors in showers. So when you turn these things on, oh God, they're luscious. They're absolutely lush. I've never been in a shower so beautiful.
Fully agree with you on this one, Sam. It blows you away. The pressure is magnificent.
Yeah.
So I spend a lot of time in the shower too, and you're right. You just get your time to yourself. You just get to listen. I don't do the Pantene. I'm not really there. That's not my brand. But we're looking for sponsors for this show. So if you're watching Pantene, please come on board. You, how much time? You did spend a bit of time in the shower?
Not an hour though.
Not an hour?
Not an hour. No.
Yeah.
I do quick, 120 seconds, 2 minutes, bang, done.
Good work.
Now moving swiftly along to something that's a bit more PG,
Family friendly.
Family friendly.
Travelling maybe.
I was going to say, Sam Rae, what's your most memorable time in Parliament to date?
Oh, you know what? Absolutely. In fact, one of the most memorable moments of this entire experience was, obviously you go through the election and that's exhausting. Election night is, everyone thinks you're going to celebrate wildly, and mostly you just need to sleep. There's a bunch of administration that goes on after that. Anyway, the point for me, I still get tingles when I think about it. When we sat down in the House of Representatives at the beginning of this Parliament, the first time that I'd ever sat in the Parliament, and we began introducing legislation to deliver the things that we'd been talking about for years, and the things that I believe in, that you guys believe in, the things that bring us to this role, that bring us to the Labor movement and the Labor Party representing our communities, and we started making laws out off the back of those things, and that just was spine tingling for me. I didn't expect it to be like it would be so much rushing and so much toing and fro. I sat down there, and I'd kind of, for a second, I felt like I'd have been like, we're legislating, man. Like, look at this. Which is not you have to be like, so.
Yeah, that's right.
But
yes.
for me, that is the moment. That is the most thrilling, exciting moment where I realised that the things that my community needed, we were going to make laws, and we were going to start right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it was one of the first pieces of legislation that went through was the Climate Change Act. And I just remember sitting in there, and you had all the ministers there, and I think we were sitting next to each other when that division got called, and it was quite incredible, wasn't it?
It is. It's a great thing to be part of, and I think I know the people of the Hunter would love to see a lot more bipartisan support on things that we do. So we need to make sure that we keep pushing that and keep trying to get the opposition to back what we're doing.
I agree with that. I think one of the things that people don't realise about this place, though, we're very good. Politicians are really good at making ourselves look like turkeys. We really are.
As evidenced by this exchange. Yes.
Right. Very good. So much work gets done by the politicians, by the amazing people, the staff that we work with, the staff in the Parliament. So much work gets done in this place for the community that is done on a totally non-political, non-partisan basis. Just good people who want great outcomes for communities working together to get things. Now, what we do is we take the 5% that we do contest, and we contest it for good reasons, because we believe in the things that we're here to fight for, and so we fight for them. But we take that bit. With the media's help, we blow that up to make it look like it's all that happens in this joint. And look, totally understandably, some of the folks in our respective communities think we're dills.
That's exactly right. And thank you to the media outlets. We love you. We cherish you. Keep the great work up, and we enjoy working with you, and we'll look forward to working with you in the future.
He's a suck up, massive suck up.
Just speaking of it, you brought up the campaign. I wasn't going to, because you did. We heard you're a bit of a campaign diva through the campaign because you were a state secretary, and we heard that you were a bit troublesome to work with.
Is this Zoe as well?
Well, you don't need to know where everything came from. So, but thank you, Henry. And Henry wasn't working for you then either, but...
Yeah, but he does now.
Or a kid.
Yeah, so we just heard you a little bit of a harder candidate to deal with from just the rumours on the street.
Not true.
Not true.
It's not true.
Look at him folding his arms like that. Look at him pushing his biceps out, like he's making him look stronger.
As he's tearing up.
Look, I had some views. I shared them robustly. Let's move along. Next question.
I don't want to leave this point yet. Like, does he carry
on.
clothes around for you? Is he combing your hair?
I'm way worse than that. It's not that easily solvable. No. I want to.
Helps you out in
I want
Hollands
to
every now and then.
micromanage the things that people are saying on the phones, and see the data entries for myself. It's where it's no. I'm recovered.
Maybe someone else was a bit of a campaign diva too then.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Joe, would you like to just say a few things on this one, Joe?
No,
No, you sure? I think you should add to this.
I plead the fifth.
That's good. We've got something to come back to you.
I like a good metric.
And Gordon, you've done a bit of travelling with your job in the past. Being a doctor, you've gone and done a lot of volunteer work and things like that. You've done a little bit of travelling in this role as well.
That's right. I, during university, spent a bit of time in Malaysia at the National Heart Institute there, and
awesome.
And then in this role as a delegate with the Interparliamentary Union. Went off to the Middle East and to Africa, and got to represent the country there at the United Nations, which was
amazing.
Which was all very outstanding. Did have a little bit of an issue in one country where I was put aside for just a small moment, which was
Some would say detained.
that's a little bit uncomfortable. But Sammy Rae, tell us about your travelling experiences.
Well, I've done a bit of travelling, not as much as some. You two have probably both travelled more than I have, but I didn't sort of get to travelling until I was older and finished school and whatnot. We didn't sort of, my family didn't travel when I was younger. We'd have our holidays at the South Coast. But yeah, I was really fortunate. After I started working, I actually got to take 9 months off work, and I got to travel North America, South America, and I rode my pushy across Europe with my brother, which was an amazing experience. And obviously you get to meet so many different people and experience so many different things, which, you learn so much from.
Dan, remind me of the country.
Yeah, I can't remember the country, but was it somewhere that you were held hostage for a little bit there?
Started with C.
Just is there?
What?
I don't want to bring up the country, but I'm sure Sam will.
Did you have your hands tied behind your back? Tell me more.
I thought we were going to
Was it like Colombian princess?
I'm walking down the hallway on the way here. I'm like, what are we going to do? Like, it's going to be like, we'll probably do like some economic stuff. Like, they might want to talk about like monetary policy. Like, we'll do some foreign affairs.
Yeah, that's exactly what was going to be spoken about. We're talking about foreign affairs right now.
This is foreign affairs in a way. So Colombia, I heard it was.
Beautiful country. I can strongly recommend people making a visit. Yes.
And what happened?
I had a great time in Colombia. Amazing. It is genuinely an amazing country. Beautiful people. In a way, other people have their vices. Mine is surfing, and it has brought me undone a number of times. And
He looks like one, like Point Break sort of stuff.
And he's got the hair. Whispered
Anyway,
waves.
Sorry, continue.
the west coast of Colombia, very remote. Some of the best surfing in the world. Amazing. Also, as it turns out, quite dangerous. And so the two mates that I convinced to come surfing with me on the west coast of Colombia still bear some grievances because we did spend a period of time as sort of requisite guests of the local militia in Colombia.
What was the accommodation like?
I'm just going to have a sip of water here.
Bringing all these memories back up. We do want to hear about them though, so in detail.
Honestly, wonderful.
Yeah?
Wonderful.
Good hosts?
The people were so... I mean, other than the fact that there were lots of guns and choices about things were not ours, they were lovely people. They were genuinely very kind, very generous, very hospitable. They didn't have a lot of food, so it was pretty lean on the food side of things. And of course, they were, I guess, using us to negotiate with the Colombian government. And there was an ultimate threat involved there. But other than that, it was actually a great time. And they really kindly would take us, then really the only thing that mattered to me, they'd take us down to the beach each day and watch us while we surfed, and there was nowhere for us to go. So
they let you go for a surf while you be sort of at a resort.
Yeah, it was like a resort. It was like sort of a gated Club Med.
And how many days are we talking that you're at the gated Club Med?
Oh, geez. Look, it wasn't. To be fair, it wasn't that many. Although there's no point in telling a story if you're not willing to put a bit of mayo on it. But
Everyone likes mayo.
Look, altogether, it might have been. It was less than a week, I think. We'd sort of settled in. And there was a bit of negotiation. They stuck us on the telly, the Colombian telly, paraded us in front of the Colombian telly to try and get the government to hand over the things that they wanted from the government. And at that point, I think the Colombian military decided that they'd had enough. So, quite in a thrilling mode, in the kind of dusk of evening, we were whipped from the encampment by soldiers and thrown in the back of a helicopter, and we were evacuated by the Colombian Marines, which was quite an experience. I've never been on a helicopter.
That would have been definitely an experience.
It was definitely an experience.
What did you think of the helicopter ride? Was it good?
I thought it was absolutely incredible. And you know what? I'd go through it all again for another one. Like, it was sensational.
It's really only the superstars and movie stars that fly into these Club Med areas in a helicopter. So
Well,
you
it
did
was-
well.
He does look like Tom Cruise.
Yeah, he does a little bit cruisy, isn't he?
Oh, he does, doesn't he?
Oh, don't do
Mission
that.
Impossible sort of stuff.
Don't do that to me.
I like it. Can we see you on a motorbike?
Don't do that to me.
Shirtless.
That's what the people want. That's what the people want.
And
Now,
on a serious note, I'll just say
Yeah,
on
you
a
go,
serious
you go.
note, travelling is actually quite dangerous going into parts of the world. So if you are travelling alone and with your mates, make sure you do the best you can look after yourself, and let DFAT know where you are so that we can actually make sure that if anything goes wrong, check the websites and make sure those countries are right to travel to as well.
you've got like a walking disclaimer. Every time we do this.
Because I'm the one that'll get sued before you.
Now, Sammy Rae, we asked this question of every guest.
We're not ready for this yet.
Aren't we?
No.
I thought that was a perfect lead in.
No.
That was a
Because
perfect lead in.
you're not leading this question.
Oh, you're a bastard. You're a bastard. Stole my thunder.
But I have a couple more to go.
Right.
damn it.
So I heard when you were growing up,
Yeah.
you wanted to be a fireman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Still want to be a
Still want to be a fireman. Yeah. And why didn't you ever become a fireman?
Oh, look, that's softness mostly, I think, probably, is the honest answer. We're getting deep here.
I think we could tell straight away why he's not a fireman. He's got the shiny shoes, the ankle
Yeah, you can't wear those pants in the
pants.
fire.
And I think the biggest thing is you can't have your button all the way down.
No, it's exactly right.
yeah.
No, you're quite.
He's definitely
quite
not
right.
Kurt
That's
Russell
the-
in Backdraft.
All of those things are the least of the issue. Least of the issue.
That's the issue.
You have to wear a helmet.
You have to wear a helmet. But we know that's not true because you are a volunteer firefighter for the CFA, and we thank you for that. We thank all the volunteer firefighters around Australia for everything that you guys and girls do.
Absolutely.
You really make sure that we're safe when the extreme conditions come up. So, which you've had a few days off Parliament for that to go and help fight fires in the area of Hawke and further around there. Do you just want to talk us through that and just say how amazing that those volunteer firefighters are?
Yeah. Look, I play a very, very, very small role in that. My town, I live in the town of Balan, which is just up the road from Melton.
Yep.
Across my area, Balan, Bacchus Marsh, Melton, and then, as we know, all across our country, we have volunteers who work in our emergency organisations, the fire brigades, the SES, a range of others, and those people make our country worth living in. You know, we are a big country, and it can be hard to get between places from time to time, and so those localised volunteer-based organisations that serve our communities so diligently, and the people, the human beings, are just phenomenal. The dedication from my own experience in my community, the dedication of the volunteer firefighters in all of the brigades across my community. We do some of the fire stuff in the fire season.
Yeah.
People are out. The guys in my brigade who I just have such unbelievable respect for. They're out in the middle of the night, pulling people out of car accidents. The training that we get in terms of first aid and advanced resuscitation, it's what allows the emergency volunteers to ensure that we get people to the Gordon Reeds of the world, who then ultimately save their lives. And the work that these people do is just unbelievable.
That's exactly right. And thank you to all the volunteers out there for all the emergency services, for all you do. You guys do amazing work, and really thank you. We can't give you enough gratitude for what you all do.
Yeah, I agree with that. Absolutely. Is it time?
You ask another question because I'm asking it.
Then go ahead.
No, you ask a question first.
No.
When do I get to ask the question?
Well, yeah, why don't you come? We don't usually do this. You ask us a question.
Well, it should have probably prepared some.
That's okay. You brought it up. So.
We'll throw you straight into it and straight under the bus.
Given that, well, all right. So can we just? I'll start with local here. Tell us about Melton when you were growing up, Dan, because it's changed a lot over the years. It's still an excellent place, still an incredible place, but it was a little bit different when you were kicking around. I think you and your brother had a nickname, didn't you, in Melton that's quite well known?
Don't know, what is it?
The Gruesome.
Oh, the Gruesome Twosome at Melton Pistol Club. Yes, definitely known as the Gruesome Twosome. My little brother was a pain in the ass, and I was no better. So we were known as that through the Melton Pistol Club, which we were there. But Melton has changed. Melton, the first satellite city in Victoria. It was about 50 minutes from Melbourne at the time. Still about the same with traffic.
About an hour and a half now.
Yeah, about an hour and a half now, because of traffic.
No joke.
But no, that's right. But Melton's a great place. Lived there for most of until about 20. So my whole growing up period was in Melton, and it's a great place. It's changed differently. There's houses where I used to go shooting rabbits. It's massive now. Melton is an absolute massive beast now, and I love getting back there, seeing my mates and friends, and it's a really good place to be.
And you've been awesome coming down. And you and I've caught up down there a few times. And one of the really cool things that I got to do was tow on your coattails. When we did go down to the Pistol Club.
That's cool.
Mate, it was like walking in somewhere with a movie star. People were just like touching him and clambering to him and stuff. And I'm busily trying to, hi, I'm Sam, and they're just like, get the here's one half of the Gruesome Twosome. We're going to touch him. It was pretty incredible.
I'm very lucky. I had a lot of fans in the area in Melton, so which is good.
You've got a lot of fans.
Very lucky.
And they would, and I'm very comfortable in the fact that they would much prefer that you were not the member for the Hunter, but rather the member for Hawke. So I'm a long way runner-up, and it's testament to you, Daniel.
No, you're pretty safe there because it's a bit cold for me to go back down to that area now, for that Melton Romsey area.
Now, the other thing that I hear all the time, and I think you and I have discussed this before, people, when I talk about Gordon Reed, they often say, and I'll say it is often women who make this point.
Oh, do you?
They go, hang on, so he's a doctor? I say, yeah, he's a doctor. And they look at him and they go, why is he in the Parliament? Look at the guy. What's he doing? What's he wasting his time? He's a doctor.
See, why has he pulled himself back?
Yeah,
why?
What's he doing there?
Yeah, talk us through this, Gordon. Why?
I think ultimately, at the end of the day, what we do is serve, and we serve community. And as a doctor, and I still practice and still undertake those clinical duties. But when you're a doctor, you're helping one person or you're helping a family. But in this role, you're helping thousands, if not millions, of Australians. So, people still come to you with their issues.
And regularly.
Yes, regularly.
In both up there too.
In both roles, but yeah, that's right. In both roles, but yeah, it's all ultimately about service and making sure that you can provide care.
And for the viewers out there and the listeners that are listening to this, Gordon is absolutely amazing at this, right? Gordon is an MP. He looks after his area, he works his ass off and looks after his area to the best of his ability and is out there all the time doing the work he needs to do. But in his spare time, he's out volunteering at the hospital. So volunteering, he's not getting paid for any of this work. You're doing this all for free.
He's doing emergency shifts at the hospital.
That's exactly right. Yeah, full shifts, like full 12-hour shifts.
He'll do a 15-hour day as the local MP and then nip off the hospital and save, a bunch of lives. Like, Come on. And it's a great answer he gave, but mostly the point that they're making to me is he's really hot. Like,
Oh, mate. Maybe once upon a time, this rig has deteriorated significantly.
Well, you've just got comfortable since you've been married, that's all.
Yeah. In the last 2 weeks, this is really deteriorated. Big 3 weeks.
But when this is aired, it'll be a little bit longer than 3 weeks. But yeah, it's
Back to the gym for me. Back to the gym for me.
But now it's time we ask a final
is
question.
this Gordon's question?
No, this is my question.
sorry.
Because Gordon comes in, he just tries to steal the thunder, saying, your mine is this, your mine is that, the Central Coast, wow. But on a more serious note,
Yes.
we have a little competition going on as to who has the best area.
competition.
Whether
Which
you
I'm
have the
winning.
Central Coast, which I can't believe you are winning because there's not much going for it,
I
or
think
the Hunter.
Your
So-
wife, who I'm very fond of, describes the Central Coast as where culture goes to die.
She certainly does, yes. And I
is
take that
not
on
the
from my
case.
wife. She goes, there's no good restaurants. It just isn't the
But
place to
Sam,
be.
one
But
thing that I picked up was you love surfing. Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah, but there's no
You're
surf.
addicted to surfing.
there's no surf where they
Mate,
are.
there's
You know
surfing
what?
spots
I've-
everywhere.
yeah,
It's the
but
coastline of Australia.
There's waves that are the size of a bloody table
Yeah, that's because
there.
you're so tall.
Yeah, they're like for
Sticking
little-
up out of the water like
Yeah,
this.
but they're waves for 4-year-olds,
Sammy
Gordon.
drowned.
4-year-olds. So, but anyway, you can have the choice of a little area called the Central Coast where there's just not much
What's
happening.
going on with Sandy?
Or you can, sorry, I'm just rushing you away. Or you can have amazing restaurants, fantastic burger places, great pubs, great clubs, the world's best wine, as voted by many people around the world.
Yeah, right.
Can you name them?
Australia's best wine, Halliday's winemaker of the year, and we do know how well Halliday goes with
Well,
their judging.
renowned Labor man.
So renowned is he?
No.
No, okay. I was going to say congratulations on you, but that's okay. He might be after this little conversation.
Could be.
Yes.
So do you want to go surfing on the coast, or do you want another experience like Colombia?
Hey, but you know what? I'll hold you hostage. You can come and we'll happily host you and hold you hostage. And we will take you to some of the best wineries in the world. We'll take you to
still
some of
going?
the great golf courses.
Oh, you drone
We just
on
have
and on.
so much going on for us in the Hunter.
Right.
It's a brilliant place.
Right.
Yeah, unlike your minor.
Imagine beers on the beach, go for a surf. Beautiful. Watch the sunset.
They both sound pretty good.
Yeah, you got to pick one.
You've got to
both
pick.
sound-
You've got to pick.
They both sound pretty good. They do. They both sound pretty good. But I avoid going to New South Wales as much as possible. So you can.
No, you can't sit on the
you
fence.
can't-
here.
you can't
get
One-
fancy.
one-
Come on.
I'm
You
not
are.
sitting
You
on
are
the
sitting
fence.
on the fence.
I'm not sitting on the fence. I'm saying,
I'll
like,
supply the board.
good on yous. I live where I live. It's better. It's better than where you live. The people are better people.
I did like Melton, but
The people
I
are
don't know
better
whether
people.
it's
The surf's better surf.
there's no surf in
The culture's
Hawke,
better culture. The life's better life.
unless you're behind a wakeboard at the weir.
Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. To be honest, it doesn't matter that there's no surf there because now that I've got children, I don't have any extracurricular interests whatsoever. So I found that surfing is one of those things that used to happen pre-children, as with, grooming oneself, having friends, and of course sleeping.
He's
But again-
he's gone off topic here. Can we
has,
just draw
yeah.
it back to the question?
He's a typical politician.
Yeah, man. he's good.
Typical politician. Typical politician.
Or just maybe an experienced politician compared to us.
Maybe that because he
We
just
don't
spoke about
divert.
himself
We
for the
don't
last 5
divert
minutes.
better. We don't divert as well.
Yeah,
as
so
you do.
back to it.
I will await invitations from each of you. I will.
There've been standing invitations for 2 years, mate.
I will sample your wares, and the next time you invite me on in another 2.5 years' time, I will give you a final answer.
Nah.
Yeah, no, good.
No,
I like the
yeah.
way that he's sold it. That we have to sell the area to him in person. It means he comes up. So, winemakers of the Hunter. Look forward to it. We'll bring in Sammy Rae up and his family. Maybe not the kids. We'll talk about that. But we're bringing Sammy Rae up and Zoe, and we'll give them a experience like they've never had before.
See you in the
Something
water,
that,
See
something
you in the
that the Central Coast cannot give them.
Mate, beers at Margarita Days on Ocean Beach right there.
You can have that anywhere.
No, you can't.
Yes, you
Bloody
can.
beautiful.
Fellas, am I done? Should I?
We do argue a little bit in this podcast, as you've noticed. So, but anyway, Sam, it's been great having you.
Thank you for
Thank you,
having
buddy.
It's been fun, man.
Love
See
you
you
both.
soon.
Thank you so much.
I hope it wasn't too grueling for you or drilling.
No, look, you guys did a great job. I've got a few matters to follow up with others, though. It's fair to
Thank
say.
you, Zoe and Henry.
Thanks, guys. We love you.
Was it as hard as you thought it was going to be? I bet you would expect some of those questions.
Well, I don't understand how you got that stuff. Like, I
we
now
talked to the
understand how you got that stuff. I
We
didn't.
talk to the right people.
Yeah,
They were
right.
really good.
Clearly. Clearly.